Hey guys, it's me, producer Ross, and welcome to a very different #GameDay video. Normally you get the sights and the sounds at Portman Road and the interviews with town fans outside the stadium. But of course we're in different times at the moment. Restrictions are there, behind closed door games are getting played. So I follow in my bedroom, had to do today in interviewing the town fans in their homes, in their bedrooms, in their gardens, and even in pubs. But here it is, guys. Welcome to #GameDay. A very positive start to Town's campaign. A 3-0 win over Bristol Rovers in the Carabao Cup. We're through to the next round, which is very rare. We normally don't win cup games. But let's get into the game. Let's see the goals. And let's see what Town fans thought of that first win. Well, Mark, thank you very much for joining me. Town have just beaten Bristol Rovers 3-0 in a cup game. It's very rare that we win cup games. A very different experience for us. Normally, we'll be at Portman Road cheering on the boys, but we're both in our bedrooms, it seems. And What was that? First of all, what was that experience like for you watching it, at home and, an empty stadium?
It's a bit odd, really. I think it's new for everyone, really. We all love a match day.
Yeah.
Apart from the final whistle, usually we usually enjoying it, seeing our friends or just generally the whole feel. But yeah, it's a little bit eerie seeing Portman Road empty. But like you said, the final result is all that matters. And yeah, 3-0 win in the cup is something we're not used to. It'll be very Ipswich to go on a cup run when there's no fans there. I'm sure we're going to draw one of the big boys later on if this carries on.
Yeah, positive start. And when the team section, lineup came out, what was your first reaction to that? Chambers at right back, Aaron Dryden making his first competitive debut for the club. What was your first reaction when you saw that?
I think we knew there was going to be a little bit of turmoil with the team. Obviously, all that's been going on with Flynn Downs, and it wouldn't be an Ipswich pre-season without a host of injuries. That's just how it goes, it seems.
Standard.
But it was a little bit like, okay, Chambers is going to right back. I'd rather see a defender there than playing Gwion Edwards there again. But no, he played really well, to be fair. And as for Aaron Dryden, I know you boys at Kings of Anglia love him. But yeah, I might have to start making some humble pie. I didn't think he'd really feature at all when we got going. But yeah, fantastic performance today. Led the line really well, but a great team performance on the whole as well.
And, positive for Freddie Sears scoring twice. Just your overall thoughts on the game itself. I felt we had a really positive start. Would you agree with that too?
Yeah, definitely. A lot was made of pre-season. I think playing West Ham and Spurs was a little bit of an unrealistic test. They were always going to pick us off probably quite easily with the quality they've got. And then the Cambridge result, which we don't really know the full story. None of us really saw what happened there. That left a lot of people worried, especially all that's been going on the last week or so. But no, I'm glad to see we're playing a system and sticking to it. That's something that I've been banging on about for the last God knows how long, that we should play the same way. And you could see it there. The 4-3-3 worked really well. And to be honest, Bristol Rovers played how we did with wing backs, and we showed them exactly what other good teams did to us, how to stop it. If you get your fullbacks forward and pin them wing backs back, then they're going to have a tough afternoon. And obviously they've lost Johnson Clark Harris, which you kind of think when we got the early goal it was going to be unlikely they're ever going to come back anyway. But no, really good. The pressing was really good as well, leading from the front. I can't really pick a bad performer out of it. It was very, I'm not going to say we absolutely stormed it. There's work to do still, but really good first performance and puts a lot of minds at rest. That's for sure.
Nigel, thank you very much for joining me. A very different experience for both of us. Normally we'll be at Portman Road, match day experience and all that, but we've had to watch this at home. It's very rare that games are live, for us to watch at 3 p.m. at home. So first of all, what was that experience like for yourself?
Really strange. Even this morning thinking, normally I'd be setting off to go back to Portman Road, and thinking a bit strange because actually it allowed me to do some other things this morning before the match. But at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, watching it on the telly, is really strange. It's just the build up was weird because you'd got it sort of set up maybe half an hour before, but you could see the players warming up, but there was just no atmosphere or anything like that. It was just really, really flat. Very, very strange, but it's it's something we just got to get used to, and it's I do like the fact that unlike some of the games that we've seen when teams got back in action again after sort of the COVID, and they dubbed in crowd sounds and things like that. At least I hated that. At least we just got it as it actually is, rather than trying to sort of preempt a cheer when a goal's coming or something like that. So
a very positive start for us. A rare cup win for Town, a 3-0 win. What's your overall thoughts on that result? And are you surprised as everyone else that we won a cup game?
Yeah, I know. How many more strange things are going to happen this year? Really, Town winning a game in the cup. I have to say, I mean, Bristol weren't very good, but actually, you can only play against the teams you put out against. And I thought Town put in a really good performance this afternoon. There was some, I did start to get a little bit worried when I saw the team sheet. Yes, we've got a few injuries, so I knew we weren't going to be really at our what I would class as our true starting 11. I was surprised that Toto was there, for example. I thought Wilson might have played instead of Toto, but actually, I thought he had a really good game. Yeah. He was involved with 2 of the goals. That ball for the first goal was fantastic down the channel. And we'll get on to Trinan in a minute. Yeah. Sears as well played really well on that left side, sort of cutting in as well. I was surprised Nolan started. I thought Hughes might get the nod ahead of Nolan, but that's probably a close call, really. Nolan, normally I get worried because he's very much not very positive going forwards. He tends to be very sideways and backwards. But I thought the performance overall was really good from us. Bristol didn't really have too much to offer, and we seemed to sort of cope not too bad at the back. I think we're going to have a lot more challenges than that as the season goes on. And I think that's when the true test of the defence will be. But certainly for today, we just need to enjoy it. And we're into the next round, and we'll see who we get next.
Well, John, thank you very much for joining me. A very different experience to what we're used to, both at home, not at the game. What was that like for you? Of course, you're normally only able to get to away games more often because you live in Doncaster, but it's a nice feeling for you to actually watch the game.
Yeah. I guess for me, that's the positive thing. The one positive thing that comes from COVID at the moment is that I'm going to be able to see every game, whereas normally I would only get to a couple of home games and mostly northern away games or Midland away games. So for me to see pre-season games is unheard of, let alone the start of season at home as well. So yeah, really pleased to be watching. I thought the atmosphere without fans was peculiar, just like it has been when we're watching the Premier League and stuff. But when it's your own team and you get that passion, it was weird not having any crowd noise. But again, you could hear people's the players on the pitch talking, and can hear Ward barking out orders. And I think his voice is obviously going to be really important. I think he's been a shrewd signing. When the team news was released, I was really disappointed because I saw Andy had said that Chambers was going to be at right back rather than Wolfie. Obviously, you can't help injuries. We all would prefer to say KVY there, or Janoi Thanassian. And generally, I looked and thought NCR back, Judge playing out of position again. Oh, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure. And but I was proved wrong. Positive game, positive start, and I'm going to give Chambers the credit he deserves, because on Twitter after his mistake in pre-season, I gave him a bit of I think your time's up, but he did a great job for the team. He played in a position he probably would prefer not to start in, and actually he was one of our most impressive performers today. Mark Heath will be chuffed. Drizzy had a good game, got his first start. I thought he led the line really well, and that's a difficult role to do, I think. Shame he didn't get his goal. He had the keeper made a good save at one point, and he should have used his head rather than his foot for another opportunity. But for me, lots of positives. Overall, professional job though.
Well, Luke, thank you very much for joining me. Town have just beaten Bristol Rovers 3-0 in the Carabao Cup, a cup win. A very different experience for us, of course. We've had to watch this from home. Portman Road was empty. But what was that like for you, that experience of watching from home?
Yeah, it was a bit strange, really. So used to seeing Portman Road with kind of suddenly fans in the ground is a bit strange. But at the same time, we waited so long for football, so long for something, to keep us occupied. Obviously, we had pre-season and the games there, but I think for me, and it didn't really hit me until we kicked off in our kind of first competitive game at Portman Road for this season. Obviously, I was strange, but it's good to have football. Hopefully the next couple of months, whether that be, the apparently there's going to be trial games near the end of September, or obviously with fans going to be back in October. No matter how many are there, let alone 10 or 1,000 or how many, I think 7,500 they want. Hopefully when we can get back into stadiums, it'll be good. But for the time being, I think a lot of fans were apprehensive to begin with, because obviously when we played Colchester, the stream quality wasn't that great, so there was a bit of a, oh god, are we going to get one of those ones? But no, I think it was good. Obviously it was a different experience. Obviously, not really, you can't really replicate the whole match day experience, but being able to watch the team play and seeing them win, it's good at the end of the day.
Cool. So your overall thoughts on the 3-0 win? Positive start. Freddie Sears 2 goals for him. Luke Chambers playing it right back and scoring. Aaron Dryden making his competitive debut after so long. But what are your overall feelings after that game?
Yeah, I think it was good, really good result. I think that's what's something we need. I think Stephen Ward was talking about in an interview about how having a winning mentality, and I think that's something that we've lacked for a number of years. I think that's good to come into this game and get 3 points, 3 goals and 3 points into the game to lead us into obviously on Arsenal under-21s, I think on Tuesday, and then Wigan in the following Saturday and so on. But I think it was a really good game. I was impressed with a bunch of players, really. Kind of standouts really were. Thought Nolan played well. It took him about 20, 25 minutes to get into it. Once he got any shoulder bash and defender off the ball and was being quite effective in it. I think Chambers at right back is one that many fans were used to seeing around 2012 when people like Carlos Edwards playing in front of him. But for now, I thought he played well. I think he got an injury near the end of the game, had to come off, and then Darva. Good to see him get his competitive debut also. But I think he played well. I think the player he is, you can't really expect him to bomb up and down the wings like Kane Vince-Young or someone like that. But in the situation where you have Dynasty and Vic injured as well, it is good to have him there. But primarily, I'd like to see him at centre back. Good, obviously, other good options for me. I think Sears played well. He looked good at Spurs in pre-season and got a goal there. Obviously, scored 2 today as well. Just think it was good, really. A lot of fans have got a bit concerned and worried about how is he going to react after such a long injury. I thought he did well today in both the goals that he had. Good to see him, amongst I think 3 goals now, which is including pre-season. So hopefully, I don't know how long Norwood and Jackson are going to be injured for. Hopefully, it isn't nothing too serious. But hopefully, him getting goals whilst they're getting back fit is something that we need, and I don't think we had a lot of last season. Obviously, Dryden, the man of the thing, really comes into the game. Played a couple of games in pre-season. I think got a goal against Colchester in pre-season, with 2 goals, I think. And then I'll say, I think he played really well. Was probably unfortunate not to get a goal in the second half. I think keeper made a good save. But for me, what I enjoy about him is his link-up play. How he drifts outside sometimes and gets people into play. Nice short 1-2, that sort of thing. Kind of what I think we might expect from Hawkins. Maybe someone that isn't as quick though. Hawkins could get some minutes as well. But I think that's the kind of thing really. Like a lot of fans tend to worry about playing one striker up front and how it's going to work with the formation. I think Bishop probably needs to drive a bit more at his marker and play a bit more advanced position. You saw him do that in the first half and went on quite a nice run and tried to do things a bit more. I was a bit apprehensive at Judge before the game about playing on the wing because, as Town fans, we've seen him play quite a lot on the wing. He doesn't really have much positional discipline in the sense that he likes to wander around. But from what I saw in the game, he tends to be quite more struck on the left-hand side, right-hand side, which is where he's playing most of the game. Got a good delivery into Chambers as well, which is good for him to see. But at the end of the day, encouraging performance, and hopefully that's something that we can take on to Arsenal on Tuesday.
Well, David, thank you very much for joining me. A very different experience for me and you. Normally, I'll be seeing you outside Portman Road, but I'm in my bedroom, you're outside. What was that like experience-wise watching from home?
Slightly bizarre, especially seeing as the battle to get bloody iPlayer to work, not iPlayer, iFollow to work on the television. So we missed the first 5 minutes because it was just lagging. So we ended up, all three of us, watching it on my laptop and having to peer at this sort of minute screen. Because iFollow, for some obscure reason, doesn't like the internet on the television. But the internet and the same supply on the laptop is fine. But, you know, there's a suggestion that I might next time try an HDMI cable from the laptop to the computer to the television, because that's obviously completely different. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it was. We still did the pub beforehand, and I'm now in Hank's having a pint after the game. So we're trying to make it as close as possible to real life, whilst we're still banned.
Brilliant. And at least we're a positive result. We've won a cup game, 3 goals. Overall thoughts on that?
I mean, I raised my eyebrows a little bit before the game at a couple of the team selections, notably Nolan. I mean, right back, if you've got Donatian failed a fitness test and you've got Vincent Young still out, your choices are limited. Personally, I would go for a round peg, round hole and put a youngster in like Crowe or Cotter. But Chambers has done that, and I don't think he did particularly badly. I mean, he's not a natural fullback. I don't think he did badly when he was there before. So it made sense. I didn't have a problem with that one. Enciala in the side made me wince. The rest of it picked itself, broadly speaking, but it was really Enciala and Nolan who made me wince.
Credit for, I think it was the second goal, second and third goal. You know, great ball. Wait.
Absolutely. I don't have a problem. There was a gorgeous ball down the line, and then there's a lovely crossfield pass from Drinan, or Drinan. I've called him Drinan for years. I'm not going to change now. Sorry, Aaron. So no, I mean, Drinan was excellent in movement off the ball. I thought he was fantastic, and there's a certain gentleman who you work with who will be absolutely delighted. He'll be doing cartwheels around his bedroom at the moment, won't he?
Yeah.
So Drinan was outstanding. I thought his movement was really good, and I think that he could have played himself into being a proper member of the squad. I was certainly far more impressed with him than I was with Hawkins, who seemed somewhat immobile. And I know the commentary, which I don't normally have the benefit of, but the commentary was suggesting we need to play it close to him and not rely on pace or anything like that. And you think, well, yeah, but I think that a target man's useful if you've got a front two. If you're playing as a lone striker, I don't think it's as useful. So I'm perhaps that Drinan has nudged himself in there as a proper contender. I hope so. You know, the attacking movement was better than we saw from the side for the vast majority of last season. I was very, very pleased. Bishop ran well. Ward started slowly, I thought, but he got into the game, and he and Sears built up a lovely partnership down that left-hand side. And I was hugely critical of Judge, and he's on my list of people to tell to piss off and not play for the club again. But he put in a really good performance on the right flank, and he didn't drift. He stayed on the right, didn't he? I mean, he cut inside, but he stayed where he's supposed to on the right. So, no, all the way round there, very happy. You can't complain. I mean, a set piece that actually reached an Ipswich Town player and went in. Lovely ball down, cut back, some nice finishing and passing round players, and Bristol tried to be physical. We played round them. We played through them. We stood up to them. So no, all the way round from the front 2/3 of the field, very, very pleased. Fullback, again, very pleased. My issue comes, and I have to have an issue, don't I? Well, I'm a everybody's got to have an issue.
Yeah.
But you have to bear in mind that Bristol Rovers effectively don't have a striker. They signed somebody 2 days ago who hasn't had any pre-season. You know, we've heard the excuses for strikers not playing. So they're lightweight up front. Was it 3 decent half chances in the first half that they had? Second half, they had a couple of half chances and one absolute sitter. In how on earth he didn't get it on target, I don't know. If that had been Peterborough, in November, that wouldn't have been 3-0. Now, I know you can only beat what's in front of you, but it concerns me the number of times people got round, and Wolfenden got pulled because he was playing on the other side of defence to normal. He got pulled across towards left back too often. Enciala stepped forward out of defence, and 3-4 times they found a ball in behind where Enciala should be. And Enciala's nonchalant sort of, I'll amble back and maybe take him down from behind, kicked in, and I think a better striker would have exploited that. And while I thought Dazelle had an outstanding game in many ways, dictating things, again, his lack of physicality showed up when you've got that nonchalance behind. If you'd have got an almighty defender behind just going, bang, nothing's being passed, Dazelle's sort of slightness wouldn't have played such a part. But that triumvirate at the back just concerned me ever so slightly if they were a better team. But you can only beat what's put in front of you. But on the basis of what I've seen there, I would say that Bristol Rovers are in for a long, long season because they were a bit shit.
So Thomas, Mr. Game Day himself, a very different experience to normal. We would be meeting outside Portman Road, chatting and doing this interview, but you're currently, I think, in Lowestoft in the garden. I'm at home. What was that experience like, watching the game, not at Portman Road?
Very weird. Weird seeing Portman Road without any fans. It's surreal, really. Can't wait until they start getting filled up again. We can start going in again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's very different. I hope it gets better soon. Definitely.
Cool. A very positive start. So it's going to be a happy interview for once. A 3-0 win. We're through to the second round of the Cup. That's very rare for us. Overall thoughts on that positive win?
Well, I wasn't sure if I was going to watch today, to be honest, because it was just a cup game. Obviously, we don't normally win cup games.
Yeah.
So, but I thought I saw the team and I kind of thought, well, if I can, I will. And we watched it in the end, and money well spent. I'm quite glad I did. Overall, it felt like a bit like a training game, if I'm honest. In some ways, obviously no fans there didn't help, no atmosphere, but good to see him back playing again. Both halves pretty good. First goal, thought was brilliant from Toto, bringing Drinnan, great run from Drinnan there, and then obviously Sears with the tap in, which good for Sears, definitely. I feel like he could be a new player for us this year. After I know he came back last season, but definitely going to be a good start to him, and push him on for the season. And then the second goal, Chambers at right back, who I know on the podcast I had some things to say, but good game today. To be fair to him, I thought he played well, and good goal as well. Well worked corner from Judge, onto the head of Chambers, great goal. Finished to go in half time 2-0. So I thought that was a good half, and obviously we scored third, finish them off. Another brilliant cross from Bishop there and that angle that Sears had to put it in. It's a good goal again. So I think that would do Sears the world of good. One or two concerns for defence. I know Bristol Rovers didn't trouble us that much, but I noticed on the 38th minute they just went through us somehow, and Holy had to make the save. And I also agree with Brenner and Mick Mills what they were saying about Dazelle there, where admittedly Dazelle had a good game, picked out some good passes. It's one of the best games I've seen from him, I think. But when he loses that ball, he doesn't seem to care. And then, like Mick said, if that was Scouse, he'll track back and he'd win that back. And people criticise Scouse, but yes, he would have got that ball back probably, or at least tried. Whereas Dazelle just cuts off, and you don't really seem to get much effort from him. So that's the only worry that I have with Dazelle this season. And it's one of those things. We won the game. It doesn't matter. Hopefully we can carry on, push forward now. I know I tweeted after the game. I bet Mark Keith somewhere, pint in his hand for Zeko, celebrating somewhere with how well Drinnan done, because that's 2 assists. He had a well-worked save from the goalkeeper in the second half as well to deny him. So, you could have had 2 assists and a goal today. So that's a bit unfair on him there, but really, really impressed with Drinnan today. And to be fair, most of the players, I think, played well. Hope Wolfen's okay. I know he had a bit of a knock. Nadaba coming on, getting his debut. Good start for him. So, yeah, it's a good game, I think. Good start for us. And hopefully we can push on to next week, get another win. But yeah, I'm wearing like yesterday evening as well. But of course, if you only wear it for the evening, it's still clean for the next day. So I wore it today
Yeah.
last time that we had a cup run, but, we beat Arsenal. So hopefully I'll wear it next time now. Wear it the
Yeah.
second round. Hopefully it's a good omen.